Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to do some planting around the pond and dream stream, and it's a beautiful day. A little bit breezy, but it's so comfortable, and we've got some gorgeous things. We've got one type of tree, one type of shrub, and one type of perennial, all of which are beautiful. Don't fall down, tree. So this is called the Rising Sun Redbud. I saw one of these planted at the top of a stream at Aqualand when we were there last July. I'm not sure if I showed it in the tour video, but anyway, they've got this like display area with different styles of ponds. They had one of these and I just thought it was so pretty because the structure is beautiful of this tree. They grow about 10 to 15 feet tall and wide. They bloom in the early spring, kind of rosy pink blooms right off of the like trunk and branches. And then the real show starts. When the new leaves emerge, they are a bright kind of goldish orange. Oh, here comes Aaron. And they kind of happen in graduated tones. So it's just this beautiful, very unique looking show. I don't know if this shows it totally, but you can kind of see like there's an orange leaf and a gold leaf and a green leaf. And then they turn this chartreuse color, which I think is going to look really pretty up here because everything around it is kind of dark. And we'll see how this one does. Now, right now, this location, this spot I want to put it is in shade, but we're morning right now. In the afternoon, it's going to be in full sun for a little while until the birch tree that's nearby it will provide some protection for it. We do have several other redbuds on our property in our garden that are doing great that are in full sun. We've got a vanilla twist, we've got the eastern redbud, we've got forest pansy redbud, and all of those are doing it. So I'm hopeful that this one does it as well. Okay, I'm going to set this one kind of to the side so it doesn't blow over while we look at these other plants. Maybe that'll do. Okay, the other two we've got here, the Gatsby Glow Ball Hydrangea, which I showed you when we got our new shrub load in semi-recently. This is a new one coming out next year. So we got our hands on them early to give them a shot. I love Oakleaf Hydrangeas. I love them. They're awesome plants. I mean, because not only do they bloom, which this one's fixing to bloom, and these will be bright white, and then they kind of mature to a lime green, but they've got the most beautiful leaf structure. I mean, leaf shape. Look at that. And they turn beautiful red and burgundy in the fall. So you get a lot of interest out of these. And the bark kind of turns a cinnamon brown and is a little bit peely looking. I think they're really interesting in the wintertime too. Now in our area, we do have to plant these in a spot that gets some protection. It's got to have afternoon shade for sure, or they do tend to burn. I don't think that that is typical of all areas, but it is of ours. Now, the thing that's awesome about this particular variety is that they stay small. 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, and they're zone 5 through 9. We've got some Gatsby pinks planted up by the Persephone garden, and they get quite a bit larger. They're gorgeous though. I love them. But sometimes you need something that will tuck in a little bit easier. So these are going to go above kind of the kids' fountain area where we planted some Dicentra, the white Dicentra. Anyway, I'll show you in a minute. And then one of my very favorite perennials for spring color and really leaf color the rest of the season. This is the Pulmonaria called Pinkablu right here. I showed you ours on the west side several times this spring. They bloom for, it seems like a couple of months. They're in bloom in the spring and they are the best show of spring color that we have. They're just phenomenal. They have blue and pink blooms on the same stalk. They've got gorgeous leaves. They're really tough. They are kind of like Velcro-y feeling. So I'm guessing, I don't know, they're probably deer resistant and rabbit resistant. I'm guessing that if you were an animal, if I was an animal, I wouldn't want to eat those leaves. It doesn't say that on the tag. We don't deal with that sort of thing here, but they're just a tough perennial. A hardy down to zone 3. They're a zone 3 through 9. They grow about, I want to say like 18-ish inches, 1.5 feet tall. And I'm looking at the spacing. I want to say mine are about 2 feet. Yeah, it says minimum spacing 22 inches, so right about then. And they want part shade to shade. So when we were over planting that new little section with the Buddleia and Yarrow the other day, I was looking opposite that space across the stone pathway, and right underneath the blue spruce tree, there's just enough room to tuck a row of those, like a big swoop of those around. I think it's going to be beautiful. But let's place this tree and see how it looks. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. That is perfect. I love it. Here's a look from closer up. It's planted, it looks beautiful, and I feel like this texture was absolutely needed up here. Everything else is just a little bit more finely textured. This brings some boldness and some brightness. Oh, I just love it so much. Let's go over here. Look at that. It fills in that gap between the birch and the spruce beautifully. Oh, and I just can imagine when it's, you know, whiter and it's kind of hugging the tops of these rocks, because it does have a little bit more of an arching, like weeping sort of growth habit. I think that's going to be awesome. And from down below, look at that. We've also got some of our lupins blooming. These are the chandelier lupins that we planted this spring. Isn't that exciting? It's exciting for me because I have a heck of a time growing lupins. So, I mean, maybe they'll do great this year and not so great in years to come, or maybe they'll like this spot, which would be really nice. This one's definitely brighter in color. That one's got a bud forming up. So exciting. Okay, so I'm going to whip my gator around here in a minute, but I just wanted to show you the other two spots we're going to be planting in today. The Pulmonaria is going to go right around the base of this spruce. So this is where we were planting the other day. You can see Paul's working on the drip right here. Yeah, I was just noticing this area, and when we planted it, boy, I want to say it was like mid-afternoon. This was completely in the shade by then, and they can take a little sun in the morning. They just need to have protection in the afternoon. So I think ringing around the bottom of this with just the Pulmonaria will be very striking and beautiful. And then right in here is where I would like to work in some of those glow ball hydrangeas. Maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure. I've got 7 of them, and maybe we can do a big drift up around the back side of this tree. We are going to be carving this out for a patio, like a little seating area. So I don't want to plant anything too close. I'm going to already need to move 2 plants when we get ready to do that. But I think having that size of shrub in here will be perfect. It'll be a gorgeous centerpiece plant from the other side. And I'm just loving this. Oh, it's so cheerful. Yeah, from this side, seeing some Oakleaf hydrangeas worked in, I think that'd be a really pretty look. It is just starting to fill in, you guys, little by little. Okay, I think we're gonna take this spot back to about here. So I could put one right in there maybe. Okay, here are the Pulmonaria. Aren't they gorgeous? They're so striking right here. Now, I did start right here, and I didn't go all the way to the end of the pathway because this is more south facing right here. And I did notice that this space gets a little bit more sun. And this space right here was completely in the shade in the afternoon. So I'm thinking we'll start in with something different right at the end of the row right here. I mean, because you can see I've got a Russian sage in here, and it just needs to be something that can handle more sun in the afternoon. Oh, I thought for sure I'd see, oh, I see a tilapia up there, a couple of them. Oh, hey, baby. She's way up in the top of the playset over there. Anyway, so Pulmonaria looking gorgeous. Can you imagine what that's going to look like in the spring when they're full of blooms? It's going to be perfection. And then the Oakleaf hydrangeas, I managed to fit all 7 of them in. So I have them spaced to where they're not going to be in the way of our future patio, because that's going to come out right to here, and there'll be a little stacked wall. So this can kind of just be right at the top of it. And then I spaced it far enough away from the Japanese maple to where I think things will be happy. And then just kind of carried on back here. You can see the shade line. They get a little bit of dappled sun, and it swings back around the back side of the iris. And then I popped one right here, kind of behind this rock-ish. But we do kind of walk through here, so I didn't want to put one like the next one right here. I wanted there to be like a little way to get through. I'm sort of maintaining that in different areas throughout this whole pond area. I just want, they don't need to be stone pathways or even like little stepping stones. It just needs to be a little mulch, like footpath, where you can access one side from another. And it makes it easier to maintain the plants too. When you need to get in here, there will be some access to the middle part of this bed, instead of it being or becoming so full that it's hard to get through it. Oh, look at this, it's so pretty. And you know, Paul was working on the drip here. He was just saying this morning that he's wanting to bring in some mulch this afternoon and finish up around the edges of this pathway. So I'm actually gonna plant these a little tiny bit high so that he can run the drip line right by the root balls and then put mulch over the top of all of it. I think they'll like that. And we've got a little pocket for something else right in here. Actually got a hellebore in our container still. That basket weave container I planted up this spring, and it's just been sitting in the greenhouse looking pretty. Well, it's kind of time to take it apart. That might be a good spot for that plant. Okay, so we're just gonna get all of these in the ground. I'm gonna grab my auger. None of these are big enough root balls to where I need to worry about hitting anything in this area. I was kind of thinking about like where the Pulmonaria is. Right around this spruce tree, I think the water line, actually no, I think the water line is further back. The big pipe that, you know, feeds water from one side to the other, I think it pumps through and back around here. Either way, I don't think that these root balls are deep enough. So I think we can use our auger and be okay. Let me go grab it. We'll get these in the ground. I ran into a drip tube and I don't know, it looks like it was cut though. So I'm gonna have to dig around in here and see if I can find where it starts or ends or whatever. Okay, well, we determined that this is an abandoned line. When everybody came to put in the Dreamstream expansion, what we did is we just left the old drip tube down and just cut through it. And when we were all done, we just laid new drip right on top of it apparently. I didn't know that. So I just wanted to make sure. I just had Aaron run the zone, make sure that no water was running out of this tube. So I think we're good to go. I can just go away now. Just making sure that the ground is really saturated around these to start off with because it's so dry right here. So we haven't been irrigating this spot, and these can be a little bit touchy because they are root bound right now. They're not touchy once you get them planted and going. They're going in with a wet root ball. All right, the Pulmonaria are in and they look beautiful. And you guys, the whole time I was planting, just squeals of delight.
Mama, I got my shirt wet.
You are all wet. She is loving her life right now. Well, now that we've got this side of the pathway and this side sort of filled up, we need to figure out something to put right along this edge. We can do something a little bit bigger here and then tuck in some little things right along the edge. But we still have our hydrangeas to plant, so let's get that done. Main part of that one just broke off. Oh well, it'll grow. I don't even think that I hit that. I think it just broke on its own. Oakleaf hydrangeas are in and they look amazing. I love that from this view, you'll see the three kind of in a trio, and then there's the three sweeping back, and then there's a little break with the tree, and then you'll see another one right there. I think that's going to be really pretty. And we'll still have plenty of room to walk through here. We've got some pure white iris that actually still bloom and do great, even though they're in shade all the time. But I'm also loving this view. I love that there's some softness going on, and I love the color here. Now, I was thinking, I've got 2 more yellow yarrow in the high tunnel. I could either do a yellow yarrow here and in this spot, or I could do ornamental grasses for a little bit of a different texture. Maybe one that's got like a little bit of a blue tint to it. That would be really pretty, and it would look like lend to the natural feel of this area. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it some time. Really want to focus on this spot right here, because I think once we get plants and some mulch, it'll make the rocks look better. It'll make the whole area look a little less dry. Samantha, are you cold? Are you cold?
Yeah.
A little bit? You want to keep playing in there?
No, I want to go inside and do a bath.
Oh, okay. Fair. She wants to go take a bath. So this is a good time to stop projects for today. I'm really happy with everything that we planted. The Rising Sun Redbud, oh, it's so perfect up there. I just love everything today. You know, some days when things just click and you find the right spots and you're happy with everything, it's not always like that. There are some days where I plant things and I think, nope, I'm gonna have to move those. Eventually I'm gonna have to move them or shift them or whatever. Like it just isn't driving quite. Or maybe there's just an area that you plant that you know you need to add more to really enjoy it a little bit more. I don't know. But today I'm really happy with everything we put in. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing all these beautiful plants, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.